Beach season's already here, but the Cleveland Cavs have some last-minute tips on how you can get really, really, really thin.
And we speak to a fossil expert to talk about what will go into the Oracle Arena excavation of Matthew Dellavedova's ankles. It's time to wake up, NBA! Welcome to Wake Up NBA, presented by the Microsoft Surface. He is Ryan, my name is Dan, and my goodness, there are basketball things happening.
Yeah.
Let's start. Game 5 was really an extension of Game 4 in a lot of ways. So to you, with the Warriors now on the brink of winning the championship, their first since 1975.
Man, you're just jumping to that already.
I'm going there, on the brink.
Okay, that's fine.
This drama. What I'm doing is I'm setting the stage.
No, okay.
Maybe a comeback.
If you want to do
I'm
that,
wrong next week. I don't know.
I would love to see you wrong.
Well, I mostly
always
am.
love to see you wrong.
I mostly am. So what to you is the big story now that the Warriors are up 3-2?
The big story is small.
Yes.
In that the Warriors decided, sort of out of nowhere, to go change the starting lineup, get Andrew Bogut out of there, put Andre Iguodala in, and it has worked wonders. They are better on offense. They are better on defense. Their pace is better. They have not suffered at all rebounding the ball. They've gone from like -6 with Andrew Bogut in the starting lineup, the worst plus-minus of any lineup in the finals, to +5, which is
clear.
That's a big difference when you can just make one change.
Yes.
And certainly it makes them better defending LeBron James, but you also get the sense that the offense just isn't as bogged down as it had been. And now we've gone from Andrew Bogut, former number 1 overall pick, $14 million a year
in
man.
the conversation for one of the best defensive big men in the league all season long.
He's gone from like 20-some minutes game 1, 17 minutes,
The chart
2
is
minutes.
a very clear trend.
Last night did not play at all.
Right,
Did
this
not
is
play
true.
at all.
And one of the things with going small, too, is to wear Cleveland down, a thin, as you mentioned, Cleveland team. And you saw by the end of that fourth quarter just how gassed that entire team is, which coincidentally leads to Steph Curry really flourishing late and just drilling every single three over everybody. Not necessarily an accident when they run them into the ground like they did. My big story at this point, it's just LeBron's excellence.
Oh my God.
And just the fact that he is now one of those people that his stat lines at any point in the game are since lines or the only lines. Nobody's done this since 19 whatever. Nobody's done, the only players who have done this are this,
Magic
and this.
Johnson, Larry
Kobe,
Bird.
Larry, since this year. So it's historic what we're watching, and in a lot of ways he's standing on his own just because what he's able to do physically. And he is doing everything he can to will a completely depleted Cleveland team that has to react to all sorts of different styles to the championship. Yet to be seen if he can do that. I don't know if his stat line isn't good enough for you. I don't know the monstrous, inhuman expectations you have when
70
he already
points
has
a game.
that.
70 points a game. That is what we demand here on First Take.
He should be hitting 14 to 15 three-pointers a game.
Yeah.
What to you is the little story, given all that's going on?
So I will slightly back off what you've... I think, look, it is... You look at this Cavs team and you say it's LeBron and a bunch of spare parts.
Yeah.
I don't think that's exactly true, and I want to give a little bit of credit to Tristan Thompson, who, started only 15 games in the regular season for Cleveland, has moved back into the starting lineup, and does what they ask him to do, which a lot of other players on this team right now can't seem to manage that. But he rebounds, he gets a ton of second-point shots, second chance points.
Especially when you play small, incredibly crucial.
Yeah, and he plays good defense. He doesn't turn the ball over.
Right.
Is he going to give you 25 points a game? No, but that's not the kind of player he is right now in his career, and it would be absurd to sort of ask that of him. But you look at this and you say, okay, they have LeBron playing out of his mind, and they have Tristan Thompson playing stable. Like stable, reliable,
doing
200 minutes so far in the finals.
Physical dirty work for a team playing small.
So just like, can somebody else be that player? Can, whether it's Shumpert or J.R. Smith or Dellavedova even.
James Jones in a weird game where he hits 4 threes.
Mozgov, can he get it going again? Is there somebody else who can relieve some of this pressure? Because you do get the sense that if they could just get 1 or 2 other players to give them Tristan Thompson level basketball, they can stretch this to 7.
Which is something that almost Golden State is getting, because aside from their star power with Steph, with Klay Thompson, with Draymond Green, every game that they've won, it seems like somebody's stepped up.
Yes,
it was David Lee last week. Last night, of course, it was Barbosa who comes in. I think he was 4 or 5, hits 4 free throws. And it's just that somebody that gives them that surge when their stars are on the bench. It's there, even with Ezeli and Lee and no Bogut getting really, what do they combine for 12 total minutes, the three of them? The fact that, whether it's Livingston, whether it's Barbosa, whether it's Lee, coming out of nowhere, not getting any playoff run, and all of a sudden, Steve Kerr and staff, much to their credit, are unafraid to take risks and adjusting. It's incredible that Golden State is able to get that surge, and that is always happening in their wins.
Yes, yes.
So what to you is now the big question with 2 more games perhaps left?
So if there is this sort of constant in terms of deciding how close the game is going to be for the Warriors, it's turnovers. Game 4, they only had 7 turnovers, and they led the entire last 3 quarters of the game. And it really wasn't, there were parts where Cleveland made it closer, but we didn't have that fourth quarter where it's like, the lead has changed 6 times, and here's a LeBron bomb, here's a Curry bomb, and going back, when they don't turn the ball over, Cleveland doesn't have the opportunity to get out and move and make the Golden State defense irrelevant. Every other game in this series, the Warriors have had at least 10 turnovers. So if they can't sort of limit themselves in terms of giving the ball away, they might let Cleveland back into the series, at least to push it to Game 7. But if they can go to Cleveland and take care of the ball, I think they'll. And
it will be interesting to see how much Cleveland takes chances, jumping into passing lanes, swiping at loose balls, stuff like that, which actually has helped them in the series. My big question is Cleveland and adjusting. Obviously, Golden State has done a fantastic job. It's how many options left does Cleveland have? Do they just say, we're going big, we're riding Mozgov and Thompson?
There's 33 cards in this deck. It's just like, I got a 4. Here's the 3. Here's how to order more cards.
It's how much Cleveland adjusts and just goes all in on that adjustment. Whether it's size, whether it's starting J.R. Smith, whether it's saying, it's all of our chips are this, and we're going to hope for, a home win and just throwing everything we have huge, everything J.R. Smith in Game 7 at Oracle. That to me is going to be enormous because LeBron's going to give them some sort of superhuman effort. That's going to be the case. It's who steps up in what sort of context. So that's it for me. Now, of course, we go to Where in the World, our weekly segment with Roger and Seth, where they check in on an NBA player who has since been eliminated from the playoffs. This week, guys, who do you got? I've heard big things.
Thanks, guys. We know we haven't done great in the first few weeks, so we pulled some strings and we put together something really special. We got an exclusive sit-down interview with James Harden himself. Thanks for joining us, James.
Thank you for having me, Roger. It is I, James Harden.
Wow, I don't even think you guys are trying anymore. That is clearly not James Harden. That is Seth in a mask.
What do you mean? This is definitely James Harden. James, tell them about how you're James Harden.
Oh, well, I, James Edward Harden Jr., was born August 26, 1989.
It's the real deal.
Obviously, I'm an American professional basketball player who currently plays for the Houston Rockets, citation needed, National Basketball Association, NBA.
That's James Harden, guys. So, James, what have you been doing this summer?
Oh, hold on. It's loading.
No, okay, just stop it already. We're trying to do a serious show here. You put Seth on with this ridiculous... Take the mask off right now.
Okay, you got us. It's not actually James Harden. It's actually... Dwight Howard playing a hilarious prank!
Oh! Got you guys!
Dwight, you're such a
me,
joker.
Dwight!
Okie doke. All right. They're giving effort, which almost makes it worse.
Do not make excuses.
Which almost makes it worse.
Do not make excuses.
I don't know why we. Is it like
this company
work
pays
exchange
them
program?
money.
We're paying them.
Not me personally. If this is coming out of my paycheck, we're gonna have a talk.
This is highly disappointing, fellas. Thank you for watching Wake Up NBA, though, presented by the Microsoft Surface. We're here next week to wrap up all things NBA Finals and playoffs. We'll see you soon.